The ocean covers 71% of our planet. It's home to some of the most beautiful creatures on Earth, but it's also home to some of the most efficient killers nature has ever created. Today, we're counting down the 10 most dangerous animals in the sea. Not the biggest, not the scariest looking, the most dangerous, the ones with the highest body counts, the ones with venom so potent it can kill you in minutes, the ones that have perfected the art of killing over millions of years of evolution. And I promise you, number 2 is not what you think. I'm Miss Science, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which ocean creatures to fear, how they kill, and most importantly, how to survive if you ever encounter them. Because some of these killers are smaller than your fingernail, and they're hiding in plain sight. Let's dive into the deadliest waters on Earth. Number 10, the lionfish. We're starting with a creature that's beautiful, elegant, and surprisingly deadly. The lionfish looks like it's dressed for a masquerade ball, with elaborate fins flowing like feathered fans. But those elegant fins hide something sinister, venomous spines that can cause excruciating pain and, in rare cases, death. Native to the Indo-Pacific, lionfish have become one of the most successful invasive species in the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea. They have no natural predators in these waters, and they're multiplying at an alarming rate, decimating local fish populations. Here's what makes them dangerous. Those beautiful fan-like fins contain 18 venomous spines. Each spine is covered in a thin sheath of skin that contains venom glands. When threatened, the lionfish doesn't retreat. It attacks, positioning its spines toward the threat and striking with surprising speed. The venom causes immediate, intense pain. Victims describe it as the worst pain they've ever experienced, radiating from the sting site throughout the entire body. The affected area swells dramatically, sometimes doubling in size. Nausea, difficulty breathing, and temporary paralysis can follow. In rare cases, particularly in people with heart conditions or allergies, the venom can be fatal. But here's what makes lionfish particularly dangerous. They're everywhere, and they're not afraid of humans. Divers often encounter them hovering near coral reefs, completely unbothered by human presence. They don't swim away. They hold their ground. And if you get too close, they strike. The invasion is so severe that many dive organizations now hold lionfish hunting events, trying to control the population. But even experienced divers get stung, because lionfish are masters of camouflage and often hide in crevices where divers place their hands. If you're stung by a lionfish, immediate action is crucial. Immerse the affected area in water as hot as you can tolerate without burning yourself. The heat breaks down the protein-based venom. Then get medical attention immediately. Death toll. While fatalities are rare, thousands of people are stung each year, and the ecological damage they cause threatens entire reef ecosystems. Number 9. The stingray. Most people know about stingrays because of one tragic incident, the death of Steve Irwin, the beloved crocodile hunter, in 2006. But that incident, as shocking as it was, reveals an important truth about stingrays. They're not aggressive. They're defensive. Stingrays spend most of their time buried in the sand on the ocean floor, camouflaged and peaceful. They have no interest in humans. But when someone accidentally steps on one, the stingray's reflex is instantaneous and devastating. At the base of a stingray's tail is a barbed spine, sometimes up to 14 inches long, covered in a thin layer of toxic tissue. When threatened, the stingray whips its tail upward with incredible force and speed, driving the barb into whatever is threatening it. The barb is serrated, like a steak knife, designed to cut going in and tear coming out. The venom causes immediate, intense pain, but it's the physical trauma that's most dangerous. The barb can penetrate deep into flesh, and in rare cases, into vital organs. Steve Irwin's death was extraordinarily unusual. The stingray's barb penetrated his chest and pierced his heart. This almost never happens. Most stingray injuries are to the feet and lower legs of people who accidentally step on them while wading in shallow water. Here's what makes stingrays dangerous. They're incredibly common, and they're perfectly camouflaged. You can be standing inches from one and not know it. In the United States alone, there are an estimated 1,500 to 2,000 stingray injuries each year. The pain from a stingray sting is described as unbearable, radiating up the entire limb. The wound often becomes infected because the barb's covering contains bacteria. Tissue can die around the injury site, and removing the barb requires surgery because pulling it out causes more damage than leaving it in. The good news? Stingray injuries are almost entirely preventable. Do the stingray shuffle when walking in shallow ocean water. Drag your feet along the bottom instead of lifting them. This gives stingrays warning and time to swim away. They don't want to fight you. They just don't want to be stepped on. Death toll: fewer than 2 deaths per year, but thousands of injuries annually. Number 8. The sea snake. Now we're getting into the truly venomous creatures. Sea snakes are some of the most venomous animals on Earth. Drop for drop, their venom is more toxic than that of any land snake, including cobras and black mambas. There are over 60 species of sea snakes, and they're found throughout the warm coastal waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. They're perfectly adapted to marine life, with paddle-shaped tails for swimming and valves that close their nostrils when they dive. What makes sea snake venom so deadly is its composition. It's primarily neurotoxic and myotoxic, meaning it attacks the nervous system and breaks down muscle tissue. A single bite can deliver enough venom to kill 10 adult humans. Symptoms appear within 30 minutes. Victims experience nausea, vomiting, and headache. Then comes muscle pain and stiffness. The venom literally begins breaking down muscle tissue. Soon, paralysis sets in, starting with the legs and moving upward. Eventually, the respiratory muscles fail and the victim suffocates. Here's what's terrifying. Sea snake bites often don't hurt much initially. The fangs are small, and the bite feels like a minor pinprick. Many victims don't realize they've been envenomated until symptoms appear half an hour later, when they might be far from medical help. But here's the good news, and it's what keeps sea snakes at number 8 instead of higher: they're docile. Remarkably, incredibly docile. Divers regularly swim near sea snakes without incident. The snakes are curious and will sometimes approach divers, but they almost never bite unless they're handled or severely provoked. In fact, many sea snake bites are dry bites, where the snake bites defensively but doesn't inject venom. They seem to understand that their venom is precious and shouldn't be wasted on threats too large to eat. Most sea snake bites happen to fishermen who accidentally catch them in nets. When the snakes are pulled from the water, disoriented and panicked, they bite. Even then, fatality rates are low because many coastal communities where sea snakes are common have access to antivenom. Death toll: fewer than 10 confirmed deaths per year, but most occur in remote areas where bites may go unreported. Number 7. The Portuguese man-o'-war. This creature is often called a jellyfish, but that's wrong. The Portuguese man-o'-war is actually a siphonophore, a colonial organism made up of thousands of individual animals called zooids, all working together as one. And it's one of the most efficient killing machines in the ocean. The man-o'-war floats on the surface of the ocean, its blue, balloon-like body acting as a sail, catching the wind. But beneath the surface, invisible tentacles trail downward, sometimes extending 165 feet into the water. That's longer than a blue whale. These tentacles are covered with millions of nematocysts, specialized cells that act like microscopic harpoons. When prey touches a tentacle, the nematocysts fire in less than a millisecond, one of the fastest movements in nature. Each one injects venom and attaches to the victim, holding it while the tentacle contracts, pulling the prey upward toward the organism's digestive zooids. For humans, contact with a man-o'-war tentacle causes immediate, excruciating pain. The affected area erupts in welts that look like whip marks. The pain is so intense that victims often go into shock. Nausea, difficulty breathing, and fever follow. In severe cases, particularly when the stings cover a large area of the body, the venom can affect the heart and lungs, causing cardiac arrest or respiratory failure. Here's what makes the man-o'-war particularly dangerous. You can be stung by one you never see. The tentacles trail so far beneath the surface that you can swim into them while the main body is dozens of feet away. and even dead man or washed up on beaches can sting. The nematocysts remain active for days, even weeks, after the organism dies. Thousands of people are stung by Portuguese man-o' every year, particularly in warm waters like those off the coast of Florida, Hawaii, and Australia. Most survive, but the experience is traumatic. The scars can be permanent. Treatment is controversial. For decades, people believed that urine neutralized the venom. This is false and can actually make the pain worse. The current recommendation is to rinse the area with seawater, not fresh water, which can trigger more nematocysts to fire, remove any visible tentacles with tweezers, and immerse the area in hot water. Death toll, rare, but several deaths per year, usually from allergic reactions or cardiac events triggered by severe stings. Number 6. The cone snail. This is where things get truly unexpected. We're talking about a snail. A beautiful, decorative snail with a shell that looks like it belongs in a collector's display. And it can kill you. Cone snails are found in tropical and subtropical waters around the world, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region. There are over 800 species, and many of them are venomous. They're slow-moving, which is why they developed one of the most sophisticated venom delivery systems in nature. The cone snail hunts by extending a long, needle-like tooth from its proboscis. This tooth is actually a modified radula, a tongue-like organ that most snails use for scraping food. But in cone snails, it's become a harpoon, hollow like a syringe, capable of injecting venom. When a cone snail detects prey, usually a fish or worm, it extends this harpoon and strikes with surprising speed. The venom is a complex cocktail of hundreds of different toxins, called conotoxins. Different species have different combinations, each perfectly designed to immobilize their specific prey. For humans, the most dangerous species is the geography cone snail, found throughout the Indo-Pacific. Its venom contains powerful neurotoxins that cause immediate paralysis. There is no pain at first. That's part of what makes it so dangerous. You might pick up a beautiful shell from the beach, feel a tiny prick, and think nothing of it. Then, within minutes, numbness spreads from the sting site. Your vision blurs. You have difficulty swallowing, then difficulty breathing. Full paralysis follows. Your muscles stop working, including your respiratory muscles. You're conscious but unable to move, unable to breathe. Without immediate medical intervention, you suffocate. Here's the terrifying part. There is no antivenom for cone snail stings. Treatment is purely supportive, keeping the victim breathing with a ventilator until the venom wears off, which can take days. But here's some fascinating science. Those same conotoxins that make cone snails deadly are now being studied as painkillers. One conotoxin, ziconotide, has been approved as a medication for severe chronic pain. It's 1,000 times more potent than morphine and non-addictive. The cone snail that could kill you might also hold the key to helping millions of people in pain. About 30 people have died from cone snail stings in recorded history, but the actual number is likely higher because many incidents occur in remote areas and may not be reported or properly diagnosed. Death toll: approximately 1 to 2 confirmed deaths per year, though many cases likely go unrecorded. Number 5. The great white shark. Now we come to the creature that most people think should be number 1. The great white shark is the ocean's most iconic predator, made famous by movies like Jaws. But here's the truth. Sharks are nowhere near the deadliest animals in the ocean. Great white sharks are magnificent predators, perfectly evolved over millions of years. They can grow up to 20 feet long and weigh over 5,000 pounds. They have up to 300 serrated teeth arranged in multiple rows, designed to grip, tear, and shred flesh. They can swim at speeds of 35 miles per hour in short bursts. And they have sensory systems so advanced they can detect a single drop of blood in 25 gallons of water. When a great white attacks, it typically uses an ambush strategy. The shark approaches from below and behind, where its prey can't see it. Then, in a burst of speed, it strikes, often breaching completely out of the water with the force of its attack. The first bite is devastating, designed to inflict maximum damage and cause rapid blood loss. But here's the thing. Great white sharks don't want to eat humans. We're not on their menu. Their natural prey is seals, sea lions, and other marine mammals rich in fat. Human flesh is too lean, too muscular. When sharks bite humans, it's usually a case of mistaken identity. From below, a surfer on a board looks remarkably like a seal. In most great white attacks on humans, the shark takes one bite and then leaves. This is called a sample bite, and it's the shark's way of identifying what it just bit. Once it realizes you're not a seal, it loses interest. Unfortunately, one bite from a great white shark is often enough to cause fatal injuries. Worldwide, there are fewer than 10 fatal shark attacks per year, and not all of those are from great whites. You're more likely to be killed by a falling coconut, by lightning, or by your own furniture than by a shark. In fact, we kill approximately 100 million sharks every year through fishing and finning. For every human killed by a shark, we kill 10 million sharks. So why is the great white at number 5? Because despite their fearsome reputation, they're responsible for fewer human deaths than several creatures you've probably never heard of. And those creatures are coming up. Death toll: approximately 3 to 5 human deaths per year worldwide. Number 4. The stonefish. The stonefish is a master of disguise and one of the most venomous fish in the ocean. It looks exactly like a rock covered in algae and coral, sitting motionless on the ocean floor or reef. You could swim right past one and never know it was there. And that's exactly when people get hurt. Stonefish are found in the coastal waters of the Indo-Pacific, particularly around Australia and Southeast Asia. They have 13 sharp dorsal spines, each connected to a venom sac. When pressure is applied to the spine, the sac is compressed, forcing venom through the hollow spine and into whatever pressed on it. Most stonefish stings happen when someone steps on one while wading in shallow water. The spine penetrates the foot or leg, and the venom is injected deep into the tissue. The pain is immediate and excruciating. Victims describe it as the worst pain imaginable, as if the affected limb is being simultaneously crushed and burned. The venom causes tissue death, massive swelling, and can lead to temporary paralysis of the limb. In severe cases, the venom affects the cardiovascular system, causing blood pressure to drop dangerously, irregular heart rhythms, and even cardiac arrest. Without treatment, the pain can last for days, and the tissue damage can be permanent. Here's what makes stonefish particularly dangerous. They're incredibly common in popular swimming and diving areas, and they're virtually impossible to see. They don't move when you approach. They don't swim away. They just sit there looking like part of the reef, waiting for prey. Australia has recorded more stonefish stings than any other country, with dozens occurring each year. The pain is so severe that some victims try to amputate their own limb to escape it. Morphine often doesn't help. The only truly effective treatment is antivenom, which must be administered as quickly as possible. But here's something remarkable. Despite the excruciating pain and dangerous venom, deaths from stonefish stings are extremely rare. The antivenom is highly effective, and most stings occur in areas where medical help is accessible. Still, the pain alone earns the stonefish its place on this list. Death toll: fewer than 5 confirmed deaths in recorded history, but hundreds of stings per year, many causing permanent tissue damage. Number 3. The saltwater crocodile. Now we're getting into animals with serious body counts. The saltwater crocodile, or saltai, is the largest living reptile on Earth. Males can grow up to 23 feet long and weigh over 2,200 pounds. And unlike other crocodiles that stick to freshwater, salties are equally at home in the ocean. Saltwater crocodiles are found throughout Southeast Asia, northern Australia, and the eastern coast of India. They're perfectly adapted to both salt and fresh water, and they regularly swim between river systems through coastal ocean waters. This means they can appear anywhere, from inland rivers to open ocean beaches. What makes saltwater crocodiles so deadly is their combination of size, strength, intelligence, and aggression. They're ambush predators with the most powerful bite force of any animal on Earth, over 3,700 pounds per square inch. For comparison, a great white shark's bite force is around 4,000 pounds per square inch, but it's spread across many teeth. A crocodile's bite is concentrated into fewer, stronger teeth. A saltwater crocodile attack follows a terrifying pattern. The crocodile waits, completely submerged except for its eyes and nostrils, which barely break the surface. It can wait for hours, perfectly still. When prey comes to the water's edge, the crocodile explodes from the water in a burst of speed, grabbing the victim in its jaws and dragging it into the water. Then comes the death roll. The crocodile spins rapidly while holding the victim, using centrifugal force to tear flesh and break bones. The victim is simultaneously drowning and being dismembered. It's one of the most brutal killing methods in nature. Saltwater crocodiles are territorial and aggressive. Unlike many predators that avoid humans, salties actively view humans as prey. In areas where their populations are dense, such as parts of northern Australia and Papua New Guinea, they're responsible for dozens of attacks each year. Many attacks are never reported because they occur in remote areas. Victims simply disappear. Their bodies are consumed or lost to the ocean. In Papua New Guinea, where saltwater crocodiles are extremely common, the annual death toll is estimated to be much higher than official records suggest. Here's what makes them even more dangerous. They're getting more common. Conservation efforts have been successful, and saltwater crocodile populations are increasing. They're expanding into areas where they haven't been seen in decades, sometimes appearing in places where people assume they're safe. Death toll, estimated 20 to 30 human deaths per year, but likely much higher in remote areas. Number 2. The blue-ringed octopus. This is one of the ocean's most beautiful creatures. The blue-ringed octopus is tiny, usually no bigger than a golf ball. It has soft, brownish-yellow skin, and when it's calm, it's nearly invisible against the ocean floor. But when it's threatened or hunting, electric blue rings appear across its body, pulsing and glowing like neon warning signs. It's adorable. It's mesmerizing. And it carries enough venom to kill 26 adult humans in minutes. The blue-ringed octopus is found in tide pools and coral reefs throughout the Pacific and Indian Oceans, from Japan to Australia. There are 4 known species, and all of them are deadly. They feed on small crabs and shrimp, paralyzing them with venom and then consuming them at leisure. The venom is tetrodotoxin, the same toxin found in pufferfish. It's one of the most powerful neurotoxins in nature, and there is no antivenom. A single blue-ringed octopus contains enough tetrodotoxin to kill 26 adult humans, and it can deliver all of it in one bite. Here's the horrifying part. The bite is almost painless. The octopus has a small beak, like a parrot's, and when it bites, you might feel nothing more than a small pinch. Many victims don't realize they've been bitten. They continue swimming, diving, or playing in the water. Then, within 5 to 10 minutes, symptoms begin. First comes numbness around the bite site, spreading rapidly to the lips and tongue. Then muscle weakness. Your vision blurs. Nausea and vomiting follow. And then paralysis sets in. The tetrodotoxin blocks sodium channels in nerve cells, preventing them from transmitting signals. Your muscles stop responding to your brain's commands. You can't move. You can't speak. You can't swallow. And eventually, you can't breathe. But here's the most terrifying part. You remain fully conscious throughout. Your brain continues to function normally. You're aware of everything happening, but you're trapped in a paralyzed body, slowly suffocating. Death usually occurs within 30 minutes if treatment isn't provided. The only treatment is life support, artificial respiration to keep the victim breathing until the toxin breaks down naturally, which can take 24 hours or more. If you can keep a victim breathing, they'll usually survive without permanent damage. But in remote areas, far from medical help, that's often impossible. Blue-ringed octopuses are not aggressive. They don't attack humans. Nearly all bites occur when someone picks one up, either not recognizing what it is or thinking it's harmless because it's so small and beautiful. Children are particularly at risk because they often play in tide pools where blue-ringed octopuses hide. In Australia, where blue-ringed octopuses are relatively common, there have been only 3 confirmed deaths in recorded history. But the actual number is likely higher, particularly among fishermen and divers who may have been bitten while alone. Death toll, approximately 2 to 3 deaths per year, mostly unreported cases in remote areas. Number 1. The box jellyfish. And now we come to number 1. Not the shark, not the crocodile. The most dangerous animal in the ocean is a jellyfish. Specifically, the box jellyfish, and even more specifically, the Australian box jellyfish, Chironex fleckeri. This creature has killed more people than sharks, crocodiles, and stonefish combined. It's responsible for more deaths in Australia alone than all other marine creatures combined. And it does it with such efficiency that victims can die within minutes of contact. The box jellyfish gets its name from its cube-shaped bell, which can grow up to the size of a basketball. From each of the 4 corners of this bell trail up to 15 tentacles, each up to 10 feet long. That's 60 tentacles, all covered with millions of nematocysts, microscopic harpoons loaded with venom. Unlike other jellyfish that drift aimlessly with the current, box jellyfish are active hunters. They have 24 eyes arranged in clusters, giving them 360-degree vision. They can see, they can actively swim at speeds up to 4.6 miles per hour, and they can change direction to pursue prey or avoid obstacles. They're intelligent as far as jellyfish go. The venom is a cocktail of toxins that attack the heart, nervous system, and skin cells simultaneously. It's designed to kill small fish and shrimp instantly, because if prey struggles in the jellyfish's tentacles, it might tear them. So the venom evolved to kill as quickly as possible. For humans, contact with a box jellyfish is catastrophic. The moment the tentacles touch skin, thousands of nematocysts fire, injecting venom directly into the bloodstream. The pain is immediate and excruciating, described by survivors as being whipped by red-hot wires. The affected area erupts in welts and blisters. The skin literally dies, sloughing off in sheets. But the external damage is nothing compared to what's happening inside. The venom attacks the heart, causing irregular rhythms. Blood pressure drops. Victims go into shock within minutes. Respiratory failure follows. And then cardiac arrest. From first contact to death can be as little as 2 to 5 minutes. Even victims who survive the initial envenomation face long-term consequences. The scars are permanent and severe. Many survivors experience chronic pain and cardiovascular problems for the rest of their lives. Some develop PTSD from the traumatic experience. What makes box jellyfish particularly dangerous is where they live, in warm, shallow coastal waters where people swim. They're found throughout the Indo-Pacific, particularly in the waters of northern Australia, the Philippines, and Southeast Asia. During the wet season, from November to May, they swarm into beaches in such numbers that swimming becomes deadly. In Australia, there are warning signs, stinger nets, and vinegar stations on beaches in box jellyfish territory. Vinegar is the only immediate treatment that helps. It prevents unfired nematocysts from firing, though it doesn't neutralize venom that's already been injected. The only real protection is a full-body stinger suit, which most swimmers find too uncomfortable in the tropical heat. Box jellyfish are nearly invisible in the water. Their transparent bodies refract light in a way that makes them almost impossible to see until you're right next to them. You can be swimming in water that looks completely clear and safe, and a box jellyfish can be 3 feet away. In Australia alone, box jellyfish kill an average of 1 person per year, but they cause dozens of severe stings. Worldwide, particularly in areas without good medical care or antivenom availability, the death toll is much higher. In the Philippines, where box jellyfish are common but medical resources are limited, dozens of people die from stings each year, many of them children. Death toll, estimated 50 to 100 deaths per year worldwide, with thousands of severe stings requiring hospitalization. Conclusion. So there you have it. The 10 most dangerous animals in the ocean, ranked by science, not by fear or Hollywood mythology. Notice what's missing from this list? The giant squid, the barracuda, the moray eel. All of these creatures have fearsome reputations, but they're responsible for virtually no human deaths. The ocean's true killers are often small, beautiful, and easy to overlook. The lesson here isn't to fear the ocean. It's to respect it. These animals didn't evolve to threaten humans. They evolved to survive in one of Earth's most competitive environments. Their venom, their strength, their hunting strategies, they're all solutions to problems that have nothing to do with us. We just happen to be vulnerable to the same weapons they use on their natural prey. Most deaths from marine animals are preventable. Don't touch things you don't recognize. Shuffle your feet in shallow water. Wear protective clothing when diving in box jellyfish territory. And if you're stung or bitten, seek medical help immediately. Many of these venoms have antidotes, but they need to be administered quickly. The ocean is one of the most fascinating ecosystems on Earth, full of creatures that have evolved incredible abilities over millions of years. Even the deadliest animals on this list are marvels of evolution, perfectly adapted to their environments. They deserve our respect, our caution, and our protection. Because here's the final truth: we're far more dangerous to them than they are to us. For every human killed by an ocean animal, we kill millions of ocean animals. We're destroying their habitats, polluting their waters, and driving many species to extinction. The ocean's deadliest killer isn't on this list. It's us. Thanks for watching Miss Science. If you learned something today, subscribe for more ocean mysteries and marine biology. And let me know in the comments, which of these creatures surprised you the most? Have you ever encountered any of them? I'd love to hear your stories. Until next time, respect the ocean. It's beautiful, it's deadly, and it's the only one we have.